During New Year's Eve celebrations in Bangalore, India, there were reports of a mob of men molesting women who were celebrating the New Year. Now, this was reported originally by the Bangalore Mirror, which had reporters on the scene who witnessed what happened and actually interviewed witnesses who also saw what occurred. And the videos show absolute chaos. There are photos that show absolute chaos. But before we go to the video, let me give you a sense of what was happening. So all hell broke loose. This is according to the reporting from Bangalore Mirror. All hell broke loose close to midnight as hooligans in the garb of revelers started pawing, molesting, and passing lewd remarks on women on the streets, forcing some of them to literally take off their stilettos and run for help. So the interesting component of this story is no one is denying that the molestations happened, that the groping happened. But the excuses that are being made for it are incredible, especially considering the fact that the issue of rape and sexual assault in India has been a huge topic since 2012 when a medical student was gang raped and then murdered because she went to a late night movie with a friend. She was attacked on a bus, and after that occurred, there were changes to some laws, there was outrage, there were protests, but it seems like nothing's really changed. Now, before we get to more details on this story, I want you to take a quick look at the video, which kind of shows you what the scene was like. It's really hard to decipher, by looking at this video, who's getting groped or what's happening. But again, no one's denying that it took place. It's just the excuses that are being made for it that blow my mind. So let me give you some of those excuses. One politician says, they try to copy Westerners, referring to the women who are victims, not only in mindset, but even the dressing. Some girls are harassed. These kinds of things do happen.
Boys will be boys, I guess.
Okay, so another politician, Abu Azni, says, in this modern era, the more naked a woman is, the more fashionable people say she is. If my sister or daughter goes out to celebrate New Year's Eve and her brother or husband isn't with her, then that's not fine.
If you believe that, then that's not fine. There's something wrong with you.
And he continues to say, if there's petrol and a fire comes along, then the fire will light. If sugar has fallen, then ants will surely come. People will get angry with me for this, but it's fine because it's true. So this
women are gas and women are sugar.
So this is an argument that some politicians have made in the United States. I'm not reporting this story to make it seem as though, we're self-righteous and so much better. But I do think it's important to challenge these ideas because that's the only way you have positive societal change that protects people. Now, the point that I want to make is, of course, these statements are wrong because it places the onus on the victims. It blames the victims. But more importantly, it makes it seem as though men are uncontrollable, they can't control their urges, they're all predators. And so aren't men in India insulted by these comments? Because really, are they so bad and so uncontrollable that they're gonna prey on women as soon as they see them wearing something that might be a little revealing? And by the way, no one was wearing, I don't know what they were wearing. It doesn't even fucking matter what they were wearing.
I think that they're willing to accept that insult if it means they can go on groping people.
It's unbelievable.
Or they believe, because remember, a lot of these guys, they don't think just, oh, I wants it, I'm gonna get it. Some of them are thinking, that woman is immoral, and the only way I can teach her is to abuse her. I'm not doing anything wrong, she's doing something wrong, and so I will grope her.
So I want to be clear about these pictures. That is not a picture of a man groping a woman. That is a picture of either a friend, a relative, trying to protect her as everything was chaotic. So I don't want to say anything defamatory about anyone. But yeah, you see the scene, and it's absolutely crazy. And it's just chaos. It's chaos. And it's another thing that was interesting was a hashtag started trending after this story went viral, and there were people hashtagging not all men because people were concerned that all men were being defamed.
Or that all Indian men approve of that behavior.
Yeah, and obviously they don't. But it's also a problem that needs to be addressed. And so the real victims here aren't men, they're women who were molested.
Let's Supreme Court it. Who are the real victims here? Yeah, and look, I think, I mean, it seems based on my reading of it, I'm not an expert in Indian society or anything, this is why we need more foreign correspondents, but it seems like, at least in the few years since the gang rape and the killing, that there's a huge amount of domestic lashback, a strike back against this, which means that there are a lot of individuals, female celebrities in India feel free to criticize people for acting this way. There are organizations who are fighting back against this. I think that is a good sign.
It is a good sign. Look,
Cultures change slowly.
Very slowly.
This is how you do it.
So it's not like in 4 years everything in India is going to change and everything is going to be hunky-dory. Of course it's going to be a slow process, and now there's more open dialogue of this. People feel emboldened and powerful enough or empowered enough to come out and denounce some of the statements that were made by these male politicians. So that's some progress. But the progress needs to continue, and the only way to do that is to challenge these ideas, to challenge the idea that if you're a woman who's wearing something that a guy deems unacceptable, then he has the right, or he is entitled to grope you, to touch you, to molest you, to do whatever he wants to do with you.
Fix the media. Be the media. Come join us. tytnetwork.com/join.